Hey, welcome back to all my viewers. I'm your pound for pound Texan. Thank you for riding with me. Like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Please leave a comment. Uh, Challenge me. Say anything. See what a country boy can do. But yeah, man. Texas justice. That's exactly what this is. This Texas justice, man. I was sitting up, and when I heard that they suspended the young man funding account, I said then, well, they don't want him to get no good attorneys. They know, he gonna raise a bunch of money to get some of the best lawyers it is. So yeah, this Texas justice, man. Look, we at war. I mean, when I say war, you gotta understand this. I'm not saying, I'm in Texas, and this wasn't just an attack on the young man. This was almost like the state of Texas rebelling against the republic, the union, because they had to join. They hadn't lost the war. The Confederates lost the war, man, and they had to join the union. But we at war, just like I said. How this here come in the play, how the young man come in and play is like this here. They down there in one of them little country towns in Texas, somewhere off in there. And I think they said that his parents or something had to move from somewhere to Texas. I don't know if they had always stayed in Texas, but anyway, those little places like that. See, it's a little history that had went on with that. About they had to go around and start changing, getting rid of Confederate statues and changing the schools like Robert E. Lee, just any kind of Confederate hero would back then. They made them tear it down, change the name. They changed the names and all that kind of stuff. And man, them people don't like. Hey, look, the Confederates, they felt like, look, we already lost. Now you making us destroy our heroes. You making us change the name. And I'm talking about, man, he's like in rural areas and stuff. It's they good cities, don't get me wrong, but those kind of people, man, they like to stay to themselves. They do keep to themselves. That's why this here, oh yeah, when I start thinking about this here, I say, oh no, yeah, this here a little bit more personal. You know what I'm saying? But that man, he gonna win on appeal. He's not gonna listen to his family, to his mother now. Listen. 35 years in Texas is not 35 years like it would be anywhere else in any other state. Listen, Texas is still the greatest state in the union, and they have the most lenient prison system in the union, if I think, because we got parole. Look, man, 35 years, this man won't be gone 15 years. I promise you that, hey, he would not do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, we got parole down here, and and this certain particulars on how the parole board be looking stuff. So everybody's case don't never be the same. But 35 years is not 30 years. 35 years, not even 25 years, if I'm not mistaken, in Texas. And especially the circumstances involved in his case. Like I said, they got a review board, they got a parole board, and they're going to look at a lot of stuff. So, keep your head up, stay strong. But this was Texas justice, Now, but getting back to what I was saying. See, they made them people, man, change they school names, take down statues, anything had to do with the Confederate soldiers. They made them dismantle it. Well, man, them people, that's their heroes. Those people was their heroes. And, once you done made a group of people submit like that, you'll never get them to like you. That's not going to happen. Like I said before, you're not going to never be able to get everybody to like you. It's not going to happen. So you definitely not going to get. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. These people keep to themselves, and they stay in these little towns and stuff like that, and they don't even like progress. They don't even like you building too. They don't like lot of stuff. They want to stay rural, country like that. You know, so they tolerated a few blacks and everything. But like I said, I got to watch myself now because when I went to putting this here together, I say, oh yeah, man, no, this is something, you know, no, you know, because how it was done, you know, it was just like in your face, like, but man, they tolerate a few blacks, like I say, but anyway, and I really would never even with them changing school names and taking down statues, you know, the Confederate soldiers and stuff like that. Man, I would never with that, because I'm gonna tell you what, that has no bearing on me being the person I am today. That sticks and stone break bones, man. A statue, the name of a school. What if the name of a school is something? What does that have to do with you learning something? That has nothing to do with nobody learning nothing. It's just that crybaby of America stuff. Listen, man, listen. Here's the thing. Blacks had their own stuff, man. They had their own stuff. They had their school. Listen, if you wouldn't be mad at the people that push for integration, that's who you got to be mad at. Blame everything on everybody who ever supported integration. That's who you can blame, because you had your own schools, you had your own water fountains, you had your own restrooms, you had everything your own. You could have named the school Nat Turner. Nat Turner killed a bunch of white folks. You could have had your own heroes. You could have been naming your own heroes. But that's not what you wanted. You wanted they stuff. And everybody, at some point, people gonna take a stand. It don't matter who they is, man. They gonna take a stand. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking at it from, if it would have been us, you know, like I say, man, we had a chance. You know, we always talk, you know, people always pointing out about what they can do, or how great we was, and our architects' skills and stuff like that. Well, if you had a water fountain over there and it didn't look like the white man water fountain, why you just didn't? It was still water. Why you didn't? It was water coming up out there. It was running fucking water. It was clean. Why not take it and make a water fountain about the motherfucker? Why not build a water fountain right there and make it look better than a white man? I mean, come on, if you all that great, I just never understood why would you let a school be named Robert E. Lee affect what you going to put in your head? Why would you let any of that kind of stuff affect who you is as a person, character building? You know why? Because you still right now blaming the school system. Blaming the schools. Man, the schools teach everything. And you don't even need the schools because you got your telephone. You got so much going on that you don't even need them schools no more like that. But you got to go to school because that's a part of the American side of building blocks. But I'm just trying to say, man, that has nothing to do with you being who you are. That's the parents steady blaming, pointing the finger, blaming the system. Look, man, it all started at home, just like everybody know this here, man. That's the foundation, man. Anything outside of home is an introduction in anything. It's not going to be perfect. It's just introducing you to certain things. And then public school, you have to be able to learn how to deal with people, man. Social skills, life skills. That's why a bunch of our young men are getting in trouble, because their parents just allowing the school, man. Look, it's no way a teacher can manage no 30 kids and get everything. Everybody not gonna get it, man. It's just not gonna happen, man. You know, not in, you know, it's you, man, it's the parents, parents, man. You had your independence, man. You had it. You had it. Be mad at the people that want to integrate. And see, like I say, that's why I can see that happening to that young man like that down here in Texas. Yes, sir. I can see it. I can see it happening to him just like that. And they moved it to one of them little towns like that. Hey, man. Yeah, nah, them people there, you know, anybody black would have got convicted when I think about it now. You know what I'm saying? No, but it's a way out for him though. It ain't over with for him. It's a way about it. It's a way out for him. But man, you know, black people are always talking about, man, do you know what it really takes to have real unity? I'm gonna tell you, cause like I say, everybody can't be. It can't be everybody. I'm gonna talk about that again. But I just had one to run and talk to this here man, cause I gotta get ready to go to work. But when I seen them take that money, they saying they freezing, canceling his money or some old stopping him. They don't want him to see. He would raise enough money to get the best of the best. And see, yeah, Texas ain't trying to. They want him to sit a little while. They want him to just do some time. And then me honest, I really think the judge. Let me tell you something, man. See, the talk law. The language of law is something that you have to be able to learn to talk, because you got to be able to know how to be the write it out, writ right. You got to know how to language the law. And I believe in my mind that judge had already knew what he was doing to create grounds for appeal for that young man, because the average person don't understand the language of law. Yeah, you know, that way would have kept some peace. See, this is what I'm trying to say, man. I believe the judge knew what he was dealing with and understand that if don't nothing happen to this young man, you know, them white folks serious, man. White folks are real. Hey, man, see, man, white folks they'll take care of their business. So who would you rather go up against? That's probably what he was looking at, saying, well, man, look, blacks ain't been doing nothing but a bunch of talking. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got nothing down this way to burn up nothing, and it's easy to contain. See, it's easy to contain you in a small country town instead of a city. You know, so it's not really nothing for them to destroy. No blacks, it's not really nothing for them to destroy out there. You know, it wouldn't be minimum damage. I guarantee, I promise you, it wouldn't be no damage where he was at. So the judge weighed the risk, man. The judge weighed the risk and say, I'd rather upset the black folks than upset these white folks. Cause see, white folks, man, you know, Timothy McVeigh, see, they don't play. I'm trying to tell you, man, listen, everybody know how to save their life and save themselves, but black people. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all about real unity, man. And another thing, man, I'm gonna get it with y'all. Like, hey, look, I'm your pound for pound Texan. Like, share, and subscribe, and come ride with me.